Every Christmas Eve, millions of families around the world turn to NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, to answer a question as old as childhood itself. Where is Santa right now? It may sound whimsical, but behind this tradition lies an unlikely mix of Cold War history, holiday spirit, and one small mistake that turned into a global phenomenon. The year was 1955. The Cold War was in full swing, and military officials at the Continental Air Defense Command, CONAD for short, were on high alert. Their job was to monitor the skies of North America for incoming threats, particularly Soviet bombers. In Colorado Springs, a local Sears Roebuck department store decided to run a festive newspaper advertisement. The ad invited children to call Santa Claus directly, listing a phone number where the big man in red could supposedly be reached. Excited children across Colorado dialed the number, expecting to hear jingling bells and Santa's hearty laugh. But there was a problem. The number printed in the ad wasn't for Santa at all. It was the direct line to the CONAD Operations Center, a top-secret command post with a red phone reserved for emergencies from the Pentagon. On duty that night was Colonel Harry Shoup. He was a no-nonsense officer, known for his toughness. When the phone rang, he answered with seriousness, expecting perhaps a report of a Soviet aircraft entering American airspace. Instead, he heard the voice of a little girl. "Is this Santa Claus?" At first, Shoup thought it was a prank, but then more calls came in, one after another. Soon, it became clear that something unusual was happening. When his staff explained the newspaper misprint, Shoup had a choice: hang up on the children or play along. In a moment that has since become legendary, Shoup embraced the spirit of Christmas. He instructed his radar operators to check the skies and provide updates on Santa's whereabouts. That evening, for the very first time, Santa Claus was officially tracked on radar. What began as a one-time accident didn't fade away. The following year, Shoup and his staff decided to continue the practice. Word spread, and soon children were calling in from across the country to find out where Santa was on his annual journey. In 1958, CONAD became NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, when the United States and Canada formalized their joint air defense system. Along with the new name and expanded mission came an unexpected responsibility: keeping tabs on Santa every Christmas Eve. Each year, the tradition grew. NORAD staff on duty would volunteer their time to answer phones, reassuring children that Santa was safe, on schedule, and heading toward their homes. The seriousness of military operations mixed with the magic of Christmas, creating something unique: a defense command center doubling as Santa's North American headquarters. As the decades rolled on, technology helped expand the reach of the Santa Tracker. In the 1970s and 80s, radio and television stations began broadcasting NORAD's Santa updates, turning what had been a local novelty into a North American tradition. By the 1990s, tens of thousands of calls poured into NORAD every Christmas Eve, with military families and volunteers stepping in to answer. In 1997, NORAD launched its first official Santa Tracker website. Suddenly, children all over the world could follow Santa's sleigh online. That first year alone, the site received hundreds of thousands of hits. By the early 2000s, partnerships with technology companies like AOL, Google, and later Microsoft and Amazon helped bring the tracker into the digital age. Today, children can track Santa not only on the website, but also through apps, social media, and even voice-activated assistants like Alexa and Siri. Now, NORAD Santa Tracker receives over 20 million website visits from more than 200 countries and territories, along with tens of thousands of phone calls each Christmas Eve. So how does it actually work? NORAD explains that they use their cutting-edge defense systems to track Santa. Their radar systems at the North Warning System, stretching across the Arctic, pick up Santa as soon as he leaves the North Pole. Then, satellites in geostationary orbit, equipped with infrared sensors, detect Rudolph's glowing red nose as he leads the reindeer team. Fighter jets even play along. Canadian NORAD CF-18s and American F-15s, F-16s, or F-22s are said to intercept Santa when he enters North American airspace, escorting him safely as he makes deliveries. Of course, everyone knows Santa doesn't need help flying, but the playful blending of military technology and Christmas magic has captured the imagination of millions for generations. Behind the humor and holiday cheer lies something deeper. NORAD Santa Tracking has become a symbol of goodwill, family, and joy. More than 1,500 volunteers, many of them military personnel, their spouses, and even children, spend Christmas Eve at Peterson Space Force Base in Colorado Springs answering phone calls and emails from around the globe. Colonel Harry Shoup himself, who passed away in 2009, became affectionately known as the Santa Colonel. What began as his small act of kindness nearly 70 years ago has become one of the most beloved holiday traditions in the world. From a simple misprinted phone number in 1955 to a worldwide operation involving satellites, fighter jets, and thousands of volunteers, the NORAD Santa Tracker has grown into an annual celebration of joy and imagination. Each Christmas Eve, when children ask, "Where is Santa now?" they're taking part in a tradition that blends military precision with holiday magic, a reminder that even in the most serious of places, there's room for wonder. And so, year after year, the skies are scanned not just for threats, but for sleigh bells, because somewhere out there, Santa Claus is on his way.